Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here and we're back at Knott's Berry Farm for another MonteZOOMa, the Forbidden Fortress, and a Fiesta Village construction update.
So we made it back to Knott's Berry Farm, or should I say, at least at the time being Knott's Merry Farm, as there's tons of changes around Fiesta Village and what used to be MonteZOOMa's Revenge. First off, we got to start near Silver Bullet. As you can see, that the entire entryway into Fiesta Village itself, at least during the weekdays, is completely closed off currently. That's just so they can get as much work done within the area as possible, and believe me, they're doing a ton of work, and I'm so excited to tell you all about it. One thing I do want to mention though, as well as most of the land being closed off, all of the rides, at least at this time, are closed as well, including Jaguar, Soul Spin, La Rev, Dragon Swing, Hat Dance, and Wave Swinger. But I will mention that Wave Swinger seems to be operating on weekends currently, as it's quite easy to get to, at least from the midway that is currently open, but we'll have to check back on that with the weeks to come. As we make our way past Supreme Scream to another entryway for Fiesta Village, this has also been blocked off with some temporary barriers in front of where the railroad crosses over the midway. But the cool thing is, with Supreme Scream still being open, we can get from views all the way up top. Now, of course, I didn't film on ride, as it's not allowed at Knott's and nobody should be doing that. But I can tell you I saw a ton from the top of that crazy drop tower. First, let's talk about what we saw while we were in line, even as we were peeking through the fence, because the repainting and even repaving is already underway next to Dragon Swing and Wave Swinger. The main ride-op booth for Wave Swinger, as well as the maintenance shed, have both been painted this brand new vibrant blue, and Dragon Swing Station is getting a repaint with pink, yellow, and a lighter shade of blue. Both are looking brand new and fairly stunning, and it looks like the repainting and the refurbishment of these rides is also about to be underway. Now, as for what we could see up at the top of Supreme Scream, oh my goodness, it is a crazy jump in completion efforts, as about 80% of this entire land has become dirt in just a couple of weeks, as the repaving process is completely underway. And I really do mean that most of Fiesta Village's walkways, or at least what used to be walkways, are now completely leveled and dirt filled. The little games buildings, gone. The fountain underneath Jaguar's Helix, gone. The fountain in front of the hot dog stand, gone. And even the main planter that split Fiesta Village in two, completely gone. There's even some rebar starting to go in on the northern side of Fiesta Village, aka where Dragon Swing and Hat Dance currently reside. And in addition to that, the repaving is actually near completion next to Dragon Swing and Wave Swinger, as the colored walkways are already being installed. And I gotta say, it is as vibrant as ever, and man, I'm so excited to see this complete revamp take over the area, because just that little sliver of what we've seen from 300 feet in the air is so darn cool to me. But I will say, do expect some more Fiesta Village updates in the coming week, as we'll probably be heading back to the park very soon. But let's go check on that third potential entry into Fiesta Village towards Camp Snoopy. Before we get to that entrance though, we got to check in with MonteZOOMa, the Forbidden Fortress, and see what changes are in store there. Now, I'll be honest, there's not too much of a visual difference between the last update and now with the ride itself, outside of it just becoming cleaner and more polished around the edges, as they are prepping for some pretty crazy construction work in that section. The loop, of course, is still non-existent, and a lot of those track pieces are missing. There's also still that sled that's sitting up on the launch track itself, but I will say the biggest difference here is that a lot of this launch track area is currently being used as a storage area for a lot of the different pavers that will most likely be installed all throughout the area. That's what those crates saying Unilock are holding. Now, I will mention there are a couple other different boxes holding various things that we can't really tell what they are. but this is most likely there in the same manner as those pavers, as this area works fairly well for some storage to the rest of the land currently. And heck, maybe we'll see some of those pavers even go underneath the launch track to make it look all themed all the way up and down that launch track. That could be pretty cool. Finally making it all the way over to that final entry point into Fiesta Village. Not too much change by MonteZOOMa, with the exception of that front archway is completely torn down now. So last we saw this, most of the queue stanchions had been taken out. It's all dirt under there as well, but that has now expanded underneath where the archway to enter into the ride itself was. But the small little wall barricading the rest of the pathway from the rest of the queue is still currently up at this time. But I gotta say, it is absolutely thrilling to see all the changes, and I hope you're just as excited as I am to see all this progress in just a couple weeks' time.
That's gonna wrap things up here from Fiesta Village and Knott's Berry Farm. Oh my goodness, the amount of change already is just absurd. I can't wait till next summer 2023. It's gonna be amazing. But make sure to subscribe if you haven't, because we're gonna have tons of updates all the way till it's opened. But of course, until then, we'll see you on the next ride.